Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple hours, along with Mike.
Hello.
Good morning. And Spence is here.
What do you mean computers? I thought this was cooking with Amnon.
Yeah, we're cooking with computers.
That's it.
And
How to cook.
looks like Nick is here.
No, Nick is not here. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, Nick is here also. And is this gal at the end? I can't see.
He's here.
All right.
What do you mean you can't see?
I mean, it's too small, and it's far, and I can't see who it is. I guess it has to be God.
It's a surprise guest.
Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software, Telestream's Wirecast software, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. How are y'all doing? Everybody is on vacation, right?
I am.
I'm on vacation, yeah.
And Nick is on vacation. And Mike is on vacation. I think Gal may be working. But I guess he can't hear us yet.
He's keeping the lights on.
He's setting it up. Yeah, we were talking before we went up on the air about car repairs and stuff. Well, Spence, I mean, I've got my work cut out for me as far as car repair.
Oh, is this the which one? The Cuckvy or the?
They dropped the new old Jeep here yesterday.
Oh, the new old Jeep?
Didn't I tell you that somebody in western part of the state had a Jeep just like mine that was parked in a barn for the last 20 years. So yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, it was kind of darkish. It was just getting like 5:30 when he got here, so I couldn't see it good, but I covered it up.
And you thought that was an accident.
A what?
You thought it was an accident they got here at the dark before. So they could leave.
No.
See, Amnon had to get a spare in case his other one breaks.
No, I want to fix it. I mean, I need something to keep my time.
Oh,
I'll have to wait and see. I mean,
I got lots of stuff I can drop off there, Amnon.
Yeah.
good. I tell you what, do Amnon, just announce to the world that you're going to take a few days off, and people will dump air. Oh, since you're taking time off, you got time, boy. We really need your help with this.
Now, this is going to be a few years
Project.
project.
What's the body like?
The body is very, very nice. I mean, I don't see any rust or any dents or anything like that. He's got the top. He's got a spare tire and a spare tire. And it came with a trailer. There's a trailer that the military Jeep used to pull. It's a small trailer that was made just for it, and that trailer is loaded with all kind of parts.
Is it older or newer than your other one?
It's the same year.
Really?
Yeah.
The exact same model, so you can move parts between them.
Yeah.
So it's so that's a 47?
53.
Oh, 53. I'm thinking of
Yeah.
All right.
65 years old.
Yep.
And
And that's really old. Jeez Louise.
Hey, you know what? If there's an EMP, that sucker will keep running.
That's right.
65. That's crazy old. That's
Shut up,
incredible.
punk kid.
Well, the Jeep you rode in is the same age.
I was making an old person joke, but it's okay.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, that's neat. At least you have some spare parts for yours if you can't repair that one for
Well,
you.
if it's not, I mean, I'll have to wait and see if the engine is locked. If it is locked, I'll try easy methods to loosen it up. But if it doesn't, then yeah, I'm just gonna. Everything is gonna be salvaged. I'm sure
If it's
somebody. will-
locked, it's probably the rings and not the bearings.
I don't know. I'll wait and see. I mean, the thing that is keeping me optimistic is the brakes don't work, and he told me that the brakes were not working. The driver that brought it. So I said, "So how did you stop it?" He said, "I just threw it in gear." I said, "Okay."
Mm.
So when we were letting it down, it's in a place where there wasn't much of an incline. It's a flat bed. So we were rolling it, and it was hard to roll. And I'm saying, you
In
know,
gear?
why is it so hard to roll? And then I said, "Did you leave it in gear?" And he said, "Yeah." I looked. Sure enough, it was in second
So
gear.
it was turning over.
So hopefully it's not the clutch that's just spinning there because it's gone, but it was actually turning the engine, because once I took it out of gear, it rolled easily. So we'll see.
Well, are you fixing it up as a spare, or do you want to maybe fix it up and keep the better one, or what?
No, if I'll, like I said, Mike, to fix it up and have it on the street will take 2, 3, 4 years.
Okay.
This is not something that you do like that. And
Okay.
at that point, I don't know. I didn't
You
think.
already know how to work on everything on it.
A what?
Well, Amnon's building that new 50,000 square foot metal building.
Yeah, right.
Store all the stuff in. So he's got to build the building first.
Right.
Well,
No,
he's gotta
I
make the
didn't. I
metal
didn't think
first.
about it, Mike.
He's got to make the metal first,
That's right.
or use duct tape.
So, yeah,
You got a good
that's.
buy on it?
Hmm?
You got a good buy on it?
He just gave it to me
Why?
because he wanted somebody who will fix it up. He wanted to give it to somebody that he felt like would fix it and give it some TLC. It was his. He drove it when he was in high school. It's an attorney on the western part of the state.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he parked it back in 1998, and he finally decided, well, I'm not going to do anything with it, so let's find somebody. And he asked me, and I said, yep, I would take it.
How
Well,
did
you
you
know,
connect with him?
you had a project sitting there all this time waiting. The Volkswagen. You could have been.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, if you were
Right.
looking for something to fix,
Right.
right? It's sitting there.
Yeah.
It needs help. Needs loving care.
It was amazing. I mean, I could have gone over there, rent a trailer, a 20-foot. It needed to be a 20 or more because it's the Jeep and the trailer. And have Uzi or somebody with a good towing package go with me to pick it up. And to rent a 20 was something like $85. And the drive and the gas and all that. Found out from a wrecker, a friend of mine told me about a wrecker in Greensboro that brings them used cars. I didn't know that all the used cars auctions in North Carolina, where all the dealers get their used cars, is in Statesville. So I called the girl, the wrecker, and I explained. She said, "Oh yeah, we can do that." I said, "Well, now how much is it going to cost?" She said, "Oh, $125 to $150." I said,
bad.
"Oh, let's do it."
To bring it from where?
From Statesville.
Give me their name, because I got something I might want them to do.
Shoot. I don't have it here with me. It's on
I
my
don't mean
desk.
right
I'll
now.
give it. I'll give you the phone number
Yeah, I don't mean right now.
and you can talk. Yeah. And it was great. I mean, this way I knew it was going to be done professionally. I go put it on a trailer. Don't know if I put it the right way. But I was going to drive there and pick up the titles because both the trailer and the Jeep have titles, and meet the guy and talk to him and thank him in person. But when the driver came, he said, "Give me this envelope," and he said, "Here are your titles." And I wrote Steve a message and I said, "Okay, so you don't want to see me, huh?" But I'll have to go down there anyway. I should. But it's nice. It's nice. So that's about what I was doing yesterday. I was waiting for it all week, and finally it's here.
Well, Thursday, I had to go do Nick's job.
What do you mean? You went down
Yeah.
to the station?
Let's hear all about it.
Yeah. Nick forgot to leave the transmitter turned on, so I had to go down there and turn it on.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh man, I left that off for a whole week and a half.
Yeah, nobody
Damn.
noticed.
Finally, somebody noticed that the transmitter was off.
I finally got a
Johnny-
phone call.
Johnny noticed. No, we did have an interesting situation since Nick's screwing off up in New York. The station went off the air, and most of the people. What are you shaking your head for?
I have no comment.
And
Yeah.
So the station goes off the air. Nick starts tweeting and yelling and screaming and hollering, and
I didn't tweet. You are fake news, Mr. Phillips.
I learned it from you. So
He listens to my show.
And so anyway, he gets our local engineer down there to go over and check it out, and he said, "No, transmitter's on the air. Everything looks fine. Looks like you've lost your modem." Well, then we start trying to get up with Charter, and then what a horrible situation. I mean, just what a horrible situation. And the station had been off the air 6 hours. There was no one down there who could meet the Charter guy at the tower, which is way out in the middle of nowhere, down this nasty, ugly dirt road. It was just unbelievable. So anyway, we get out there. We get down there. He's supposed to be there between 5:30 and 6 and call us when he's on his way or when he gets there, so forth. So we get there. It's about 6:30 when we get there. We didn't really do a mad dash because this is all the way to Wilmington. We didn't do a mad dash because we hadn't heard from him. But we get there and wait, and then it starts raining, and we try to call, and both Johnny and I have Verizon cell phones, and there's no coverage there to speak of.
Oh,
Very, very spotty. We have to stand in the rain to get good coverage. Well, at about 7:15, we start calling and get through the 800 number and all that nonsense. And oh yeah, we'll have to check it out. And this went on for about 2 hours. And after we called back multiple times, yes, you have 10 tickets open here, and we've got you scheduled for January 2nd. No, January 2nd won't work. We're off the air, and we're at your head end. We're looking at your tower. And Johnny was getting kind of frustrated. What are we going to do? I said, I can get them out here pretty quickly. How? Let's go turn the power off on their head end. Let's let them lose cable to all of Wilmington. Let's see if anybody comes out here to see what's wrong. But anyway, we obviously wouldn't do that, but it was tempting. And one thing after another, at about 8:30, for some reason, and I don't remember why, Johnny said he wanted to run to a convenience store. Neither one of us had anything to eat. We were starving. I don't know what he was going to the store for, maybe to get a drink or something, to get out and ride around and make sure he had good cell phone coverage in case they were trying to call him back, because they only called back one time and they promised 10 times to call back. But he goes and gets in the car, and then sure enough, they call him. At about the same time his phone rings, he notices he's hearing audio coming out of the radio. He turns up the radio, and the radio station's on the air. And he said, talks to the guy on the phone, listens to it. He gets out of the car, he had not left. He gets out of the car, walks back over to where I am and says, "We're on the air." And I looked over at the Optimod. Sure enough, we're on the air. Whole time there had been a problem with the network at Charter. They finally found it, and they've not called us back yet.
Yeah, I was going to say they had a major outage.
That
This
was
is not part of that.
that was
No, it wasn't part of
Centurylink.
that?
Centurylink.
That was Centurylink.
No, I thought it was
It
part
could have affected it. It could have, because you
Well-
don't know where they're getting their feed.
Their quote unquote customer no service told us there was not an outage, so they
Yeah.
wouldn't lie.
And that's it. And
Got in the car and came home. It's been on ever since.
interesting.
I remember in the days of T1 lines and fractional T1s where you'd have an outage and you would call them, oh, we don't see any trouble on that line, but miraculously within 15 minutes it'd be working again.
Right.
Like,
They lie
oh,
through
no, we don't see any problem with that line. It's on your end because
Oops.
I guess the tariffs were such that they could be responsible in certain circumstances for the outage.
Nick, what were you saw someplace where someone's T1 went down recently? What was that?
That was in that was part of that Centurylink outage out in North or South Dakota, I think.
What happened?
That was Centurylink had a massive fiber split outage or something like that.
But what about the T1?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see an update.
All
What happened?
5 users in North and South Dakota were
No,
inconvenienced.
Centurylink had a huge fiber issue that took like a whole bunch of networks offline, and that whatever that guy had was part of it.
How long were they off?
They're still not fully restored from what I understand.
The FCC is actually investigating why their 911 went down. Which,
Yeah.
Well, I can tell them that.
well, apparently it's not supposed to. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't understand.
911.
Fiber is gone. You're not going to get service. Period. No 911, no 411, no nothing. So what is that investigation for?
Well, they're supposed to have. Well, here's the big problem here, and if this is too political, then shoot me off of it. But Centurylink is subsidized by the federal government to provide that 911 service, and the expectation is that that service is going to stay up. And it's blatantly obvious on this outage that they were unable to keep their 911 across. What was it? The entire West Coast up. It was a huge area of people without 911 for many, many, many hours.
Yeah, it's a problem. But when the cable is cut, nothing is going to work on the other side. It's cut.
Well, the thing is that the politicians have done such a fantastic job managing healthcare that they're now moving into more technical things. They've gotten their courage up to manage the more technical things.
Yeah, they say, well, we did such a good job with healthcare. Let's apply it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So what else is happening?
Did you see the virus that hit Tribune Publishing and Los Angeles Times are all down now?
I did. What a bunch of fear-mongering garbage from them. I mean, they're trying to shut us down. I'm like, are you kidding me?
It's a foreign entity. Try it. Malicious foreign entity.
The Russians.
I mean, stupidity is what it is.
Who the hell? I mean, their websites were up. All their social media was up. Their papers made it on time. They just got to the printer late. I mean, give me a break.
You got an earphone hanging on your ear.
Thank you.
But they reported the attack to the FBI.
Oh, good. Well, hopefully they'll look into it. That'll be good.
It's Trump's fault.
Yeah,
don't get your.
It's Trump's fault. There's no doubt.
He's personally hacking their website.
Yep, that's right.
With his Twitter account.
He was seen leaving the building in the dead of night
in an SR-71 Blackbird.
So Mike,
what?
I got those acoustic panels, the 2-inch, finally.
Okay.
And I stuck them everywhere where there's wall. Flat.
Well, it's hard to mount them when there's no wall, Amnon.
You know what I mean. When there's flat
exposed surfaces.
Exposed surface. And It's fine. I mean, they're holding, but boy, I went in here last night and the
Yeah.
smell.
Oh, you got some of that Chinese formaldehyde crap, huh?
No, this actually came from the United States. This is from the foam factory somewhere in the States where they make it right here. But it did say that it's going to smell.
That's called outgassing.
Huh?
Outgassing.
Well, I've got the exhaust fan, and it's came in this morning, and it was very. I mean, I could tell, but it wasn't bad. But I don't. I mean, there's more places to put it on, and I hope it makes a difference that you guys can hear because you're so critical.
The difference is not going to be you in front of an RE20. The difference is going to be your guest with the mic out of the shot.
Okay, well, we'll see. I actually also put a bunch of it on the wall behind the fan, so it may absorb some of the sound. I don't know. We'll see.
Gene's talking about he found an old XP computer you built for him.
Yeah.
I got news for you. I've been over here. I've been dubbing a bunch of cassettes. All these cassettes that are in my inventory, I'm dubbing to digital. And it's an XP machine because it's what's on that computer. It works perfectly. It's not connected to the internet.
You're not the target of a virus anyway at this point.
No, in fact, that's the problem. These new viruses won't even run on XP.
That's it. I think they should fix that. That should be a national effort. Spread the pain to everybody.
Just like these stupid Apple people. They some of the Apple, what is it? Apple updates their operating system, and old applications don't run on the new operating system, and the Apple people attack the apps developer for not writing software that would anticipate new Apple OS releases.
That's good.
Well, Gall, are you working yet?
I'm finally online.
There he is. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you have fun?
It was nice. It was nice.
Where
So
did you go?
what was your favorite thing that you saw while you were there?
Oh,
Or the family saw?
Where'd you go?
we went to Florida, Orlando. We rented a house with a couple of friends. It was nice. The idea was to do nothing. Somehow we were coerced for a single day of parks. So the little kids went to Magic Kingdom. We went to Universal. It was okay, but it was too packed. It was like the peak of the high season. So
Yep.
yeah, I call it self-inflicted pre-organized misery.
Did you get to see the artificial snow at Universal? Did they have that
No.
going?
No.
They used to
nothing
have
like
a artificial snow generator in the back part of the studio. Oh no, I'm sorry, it wasn't Universal. I'm thinking of Disney Studios.
Oh
But
no,
it had this whole section of the back lot set up with decorated for Christmas, and they had a generator making it out of soap suds. So you just walked around, look like a Christmas scene in a in a New England town, but it was all fake.
no, we didn't go to
Disney
but
Studios.
that sounds like a nice thing. I mean, they're building a new park there, right? So I think it's going to open next year. A Star Wars themed park. So maybe if somebody has the idea of going next Christmas, it'll be everything around the Star Wars park, and the rest will be
Quiet.
more convenient.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it was too packed.
Well, you made it. You went. You enjoyed.
Yeah.
You came back. Are you back at
Well,
work?
It was so
yeah.
funny. We went back when my kids were grown. It was a while ago, but we went over Thanksgiving, and we left Thanksgiving Day to go down, and we went to Disney the next day. and it wasn't bad. But here are my kids, and the youngest at this time was maybe 16 or 17, and their favorite thing was sitting there on Main Street and watching the electric light parade that they remembered from when they were 5. They were like, they were just giddy. It was so funny to see the effect on them. It was amazing.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, we did all the parks, all the Disney parks, and the one Universal park last summer, not the summer before last. Okay, so so this was also too soon visiting this, but yeah, it was okay. I mean, it's not like it was terrible or anything. It's just, you asked me what was the best thing. The best thing was the TV in the house that we rented. I just wanted to rest.
Yeah.
I mean, it was too cold for pool. The house had a pool, but it was too cold for that. The water was freezing. So all we did was just lay around and talk, and that was the best part. But yeah, I'm back.
Good.
That's it.
All right.
Good. Glad you had a good trip.
Yep.
All right. So for those of you who are into photos and all that, if you often find yourself needing to remove the backgrounds from photos, but don't have the time to manually do it, you might want to bookmark Remove.bg. Remove.bg. It's a simple free website that automatically removes the backgrounds from photos in just 5 seconds with a single click. Simply use the button on the homepage to select a photo from your computer, or you can also enter a photo's URL on the web. The website then processes the photo and shows the result in moments. Under the results, there is a button that lets you download it as a PNG image with a transparent background. So
Really?
that's nice. It's a lot of work to remove background
Oh,
from
that is. I've tried to create some in the past for use, and it takes a long time.
Yeah, it takes a long time and it's
Yeah.
tedious. This could be nice.
And it's certified safe, and
But I don't know about that.
that's the thing I wonder about, is like, what's in the file. Especially, I mean, it's free. How long will it be free, and why is it free?
I don't know. If it's a company that's doing it, then they may get advertisement out of it from people going there, and they sell them some of their other services. I did not go there. I just read it, but
I'm there now, and it says, just talking about, I clicked on their about. Why? I'll read the why are we doing this, and I'll report
All right.
back.
Remove.bg.
So we were talking in the past about Netflix and iTunes or Apple in general. So the story goes that Netflix is further distancing itself from Apple's 15% iTunes tax bracket. Earlier this year, the streaming giant enables iOS users in more than 24 markets to bypass the iTunes payment method as part of an experiment. The company now tells VentureBeat that it has concluded the experiment and has incorporated the change globally. We no longer support iTunes as a method of payment for new members. A Netflix spokesman told VentureBeat, existing members, however, can continue to use iTunes as a method of payment. Additionally, the support rep added that customers who are rejoining Netflix using an iOS device after having canceled payment for at least 1 month also won't be able to use iTunes billing. The move, which will allow Netflix to keep all proceeds from its new paying iPhone and iPad customers underscores the tension between developers and the marquee distributors of mobile apps, Apple and Google. So I don't think the price is going to go down because of this, but they're going to make a little bit more money. And I never subscribed to Netflix to know how that whole thing works. What is that iTunes payment?
So when
you can, I have a Pandora account, right? And I pay the small account. I pay a small fee every month, so I get no advertisements on Pandora, and it goes.
So
to
what
my
about
iTunes.
Netflix and iTunes? Who's using Netflix with iTunes payment?
So if you, it really depends how you register to the account, right? If you're doing it on your iPad or iPhone, then that's the primary account, and you're not doing it through their website on a PC or a Mac, then you are the option. You have options of how to pay. I assume one of them is PayPal. If I recall correctly, they used to work with PayPal, and so one of them would be the native paying mechanism. So on an Android, it'll be the Play Store, and on an Apple, it'll be the App Store, basically an iTunes credit way. So this way, Apple, when you use that, Apple is the one basically pulling the funds out of your credit card. You don't give them your credit card. You basically authenticate with the Apple account. And and they get the money from Apple. Apple cuts a sum, I think about 30% of that, and transfer that on. So now they need to decide. If you pay with Apple, they can mark up the price because Apple gets a cut. But what they usually do is they don't do that. They say it's going to cost you, I think it's $11 right now, right? $11 a month. It's going to cost you $11 a month, and you can pay with your Apple account. So this way, you only need to keep your Apple account updated with your credit card information, for example, right?
Okay, so it is like PayPal, where you pay with PayPal and they keep certain. They're like credit card processors, so to speak.
Yeah. They call it in-app purchase.
Okay.
But the thing is that Apple, to do that, right? The first purchase, when you purchase the subscription for the first time, they cut 30% off, and then every month they take another 15% of the monthly payment for the subscription. So for the app maker, in this case, it's Netflix. It's a huge company, but it's still, for the app maker, it's a huge cut.
Sure.
Yeah. And after that, they need to pay taxes and all that, to the rate. Now, I'm not saying Apple should never take a cut. 30% is really high. Yeah,
it's 15%.
Well, it's 15 monthly. It's 30 on the first.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, they're not selling as many iPhones, so they have
to. Yeah, they have to.
And staying with Netflix here, the Federal Trade Commission sent out a flare to warn Netflix users that there are some Grinches out there looking to take advantage of everyone's holiday bliss and vulnerability. In a post on the FTC's website, they warned us of scammers using household company names to dupe consumers. In a specific example, they cited a phishing email sent to a Netflix customer that claimed the user account is on hold because Netflix is having some trouble with your current billing information. The email invites the user to click on a link to update their payment method. The FTC sent the cautionary message out to all Netflix users so they so that they won't be victim to phishing. And we said it many times before. You really need to be diligent. Look at what you're clicking on. It's easier said than done, I know. But if your Netflix is still working, then you know that this is bull. So if you get that email and you did not get the notice and they say, oh, your account is on hold and you have to fix it, just go and see if you can get on Netflix. If you can get on Netflix, you know that it's not true. It's like all these messages that come out, oh, your email has been limited. My email is working.
You mean I don't have to pay $30 a month to fix that?
Yeah, well, you wish it was 30. It would be a lot more. No, you don't, Spence.
But you'll make a great new Nigerian friends.
That's it. Oh, I thought it was now the crown princess of something in her family, and her father died, and she needs to move the inheritance out of the country. It's something.
Yeah, it's not the crown prince; it's the horn prince.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
Nick, go ahead.
I've been battling something.
Uh-oh.
Nothing. I mean, the problem is semi-technical, but boy, have I messed up. It's all on me, but still, my password vault, I changed the master password and was sure I wrote it in another safe location, only I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have a few devices still connected to the password vault, but I can't do anything to save that and create a new password vault, right? Because I can't rescue it. And this is frustrating. I'm looking at 2,000 entries that I need to go through manually one by one and make sure I have a copy of them before I nuke that password vault and create another one. Oh, tell me about it. I found one device that was offline during that time, and I was able to use the old password and export most of it, but still I need to compare because there are some entries that are not exported. So now I am doing very tedious work.
Well,
so, yeah.
That's one way to learn, though.
Oh, it's not the first time, right? I mean, maybe it's the first time with this specific, but it's not the first time I do a mistake like this. It's just I thought I would be smarter about protecting myself from it, and apparently not. And this is like yesterday. I think I was sitting like this for for about 30 minutes trying to figure out where I can go from here.
So, okay, so I don't understand this. The password is for a certain site, right?
Well, no. Don't think of it as a site. It's for the content.
For the content of what?
So I'm using something called Bitwarden, but it works the same with LastPass or any other, right?
Right.
Actually, you can also think of it as an offline thing like KeyPass.
Okay.
It'll be the same thing. What the password does, it protects the content. The content is encrypted with the key created by the password.
So you mean you don't know the master password, so to speak?
Right. So I changed the master password about last week, right? I changed the master password.
Yeah.
What I usually do is I have two vaults. Okay.
Okay.
One vault that only holds the master password and has a password that I know and use, and it's stored in the actual vault that I'm using regularly. and the vault I use, I changed the password to it without saving it on my backup
Okay.
vault, right? So this way, if I still have access to one of them, I can open the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because I lost for the main one, then I'm stuck because I have no way of exporting. So I need, in order to export the stuff, the content, I need to have that password. And my latest backup was from January. So so I was stuck.
Yeah, Gal is not following our.
Oh, I am. But this one specific, I was working on an automated way to back up the vault, but because I went with something complex, I need to take it offline in order to back up, and that can still be automated. I just never got to automate it, and I'm stuck. Yeah, fun.
I
That's
know some Russian hackers you can hire.
that.
Yeah, I don't think
I'll work on
I
it
don't
for
think
you.
I don't think we have the like 3 years to let a mesh of PC drones to try to hack the encryption key.
This kind of reminds me of some people that when I lived in New York and come to their apartment door and there are 5 locks on it. First one, second one, third one, fourth one, fifth one. Yeah, you're trying to be safe.
Yeah.
And then
the problem is trying to be safe and convenient.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's always the problem.
Yeah,
The balance.
trade-off.
Right. Yeah. So yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you know what, Gal,
this one
wait.
hit me in the ass.
They said within 6 or 7 years, quantum computing will be so robust that they'll be able to crack 256-bit encryption within minutes.
Yeah, but then we'll move to, I don't know, 4K encryption,
Can you
right?
imagine? Yep.
Look, it'll be so fast that it could encrypt fast, so not a problem. The problem is the brute attack, right? So I always like the sci-fi movies, especially when somebody comes from the future and, oh, I can hack that, and I always say, that's not how it works. I mean, they might have fantastically new mathematics and know things that we don't know, but with the existing technology, that won't work.
And we don't even know how to go back and use Windows XP. How are they going to be able to come back and
Exactly. Yeah.
just like, do you remember one of the first Star Trek movies when Scotty sits down at the computer in the lab and is trying to figure something out? He says, "Computer," and he holds up, he's talking into the mouse. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh
well.
If anybody can fix that problem, Gal can.
Oh, it's I mean, I'm almost
You will
in the clear. Now
Yeah.
I have I just need to fish out of the 2000. I need to fish for the 30 that are important, and I need to save. So, yeah.
All right.
Hey,
So-
is anybody a fan of Travelers on Netflix?
Oh yeah.
That's a
Fantastic
good.
show.
I like the concept of that show. I hope
Yeah.
it's good. I haven't watched the 3rd season yet.
I'm
But-
almost halfway through. It's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show.
By the way,
what? Go ahead.
an old show. I think it's an Amazon Prime one. Check out Brain Dead. It's about they took the politics of the pre-election, Trump and Hillary and the Republicans at the throat of the Democrats and vice versa, and they made it into a zombie show where it's about these politicians who get their brain half eaten by bugs, and they're throwing each other at their throats.
Well, how is that fiction?
That's what works so well. It's like it's still a great. It makes it into a fantastic show, and now there's this this premise that it's all by aliens controlling everyone. So it's fantastic. I enjoyed it very much.
Okay. All right. So Nick,
Yes, sir.
what about that hard drive you were talking about, the black drive?
Oh, yeah, this is a good question. So I need a new hard drive to put on my computer here. I've maxed out my 1 terabyte drive with video games. So I found a WD Enterprise drive that is got a black label, which is typically their best drive, but I don't know if these Enterprise drives are really WD blacks. Are they blues? Are they greens? I mean, what does enterprise storage mean? Is that just
That
a
means
stupid
it's
word they put on the label? It's significantly cheaper than a WD black, and that's what has me
okay.
questioning what
And
to do.
enterprise drives were the orange or yellow label.
Okay.
And these are made to work in servers 24/7.
Yeah.
The black ones were they were the best as far as drives that you can depend on and to work in your system. Now, they're definitely not green, and if you think that they may be green, green is 5400 RPM.
True.
So
this is the question I posed then. This WD 2 terabyte 7200 RPM enterprise drive is $54 on $55 on Amazon. The equivalent WD black 2 terabytes 7200 RPM drive is $119. So what in the hell's the difference? There is a huge difference between those prices. They're not the same drive. There's no way they're the same drive.
Put the do you have the link to stick in?
The link for both of them. Yeah, I mean,
put it in the chat. I mean, did you read to make sure that these are not recertified?
Which ones? The Enterprise? No, the Enterprise drives look like they're brand new. That's what I was wondering, because I have a feeling they're screwing around with the labeling to make it look and appear like a black drive. It looks exactly the same minus the Enterprise storage sticker on it.
Well, I've never seen black with Enterprise storage.
Neither have I.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they sold them.
Right.
Until I started looking at, for some reason, I was on Sam's Club website of all places. And I don't know how this popped up. Maybe I was on some other website and I saw an ad for a 2 terabyte hard drive because I was looking for them, and I clicked on this. I said, "Oh, it's a WD black for $60." And then I found it's a WD.
Oh yeah, no. This is the orange. It's not black, because you see the orange where it says Enterprise.
I do see that. So here, but my question is still there. What is the difference between this and a WD black?
That's a good point.
Well, go scroll down.
Uh-huh.
Scroll down to the questions and answers and the imagery.
Okay.
And you will see that the production date of these drives is 2011. That's what customers are reporting back. That's on July 8th. Somebody reported back. So people, they're without warranty, basically. That seems to be the kick.
Where it says at the top with 3-year warranty.
It says, but then when you go to register with Western Digital, you get the middle finger.
Wow.
So I see this. Yeah.
I looked at a review as to what is the mentality behind having these, and the black drives are performance based, and the enterprise drives are mainly for supposedly reliability and larger capacities. Higher performance is really black, and enterprise is more like I have some surveillance drives, which are meant to be written to on a continuous basis, like a NAS drive would be used.
Yeah. And there are some differences, like the cache, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing.
Yeah. That is a big thing, but I'm pretty sure my drive right now has only got a 32 megabyte cache. Well, so, but that's what I'm wondering. Are these
It actually says there, 3-year warranty from reseller, manufacturing date code 2010, 2011. It's at the top of the page.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, I see that, but
that's the key. That's why it's different. That's
but
why
this
you're
is still
paying
not a
more.
black
It's-
drive.
it's
This
all-
is still an enterprise drive. What does that
yeah.
mean?
These were actually the enterprise drives were produced in the late 2000 and early 2010, 11, 12. When the cloud became more of an option, they slowed down on these, and apparently they stopped. But let me tell you what I would do in this case, and what my philosophy about this is. If you buy a drive, Nick, when is the last time you sent a drive that went bad?
When was the last time I what?
Sent it back to
I've
be
never had a hard drive fail.
okay. I had a few, and customers had a few. Now, when you have a drive and it goes bad, you are in a position where you cannot erase the stuff.
Correct.
And even when you erase the stuff, you don't know that somebody on the other side could not recreate it. Not that they are after you or whatever, but it's possible. It is for me, it's much better to just put that drive on the side, buy a new one. It's only about $100 and some. Now, $54 is even easier to swallow.
Yes,
I
but
would-
I'm looking. But I need a drive that Amnon. I'm not looking to put. This is my main computer. I'm not.
I
looking to put some
understand.
garbage drive in it.
I understand. So what you can, I mean, now instead of buying one black drive, which will be a little faster, you buy two of these and rate them, you're fine. Even if you don't rate, I mean, remember the electronics are going to go on a brand new drive or on a certified.
I'm not concerned about it dying. I'm concerned about the spec difference. These both have 64 megabyte caches.
But
and
yeah,
it
but
looks like-
one is 3 gigabyte SATA 3, and the other one is 6.
correct.
Yeah, the 6 is much faster. Well, a little faster.
It's a little bit faster, but I mean, most things.
It's
aren't
not.
gonna,
Yeah, it's not. I would not.
I'm
I would not.
doing crazy IO
Right.
stuff like that.
Exactly my
so
point.
The question still stands. Is there a reason to not buy this?
No, there is no
over
reason
a
not
WD
to.
Black.
No,
What's
there is
everybody's
no
thoughts?
reason. There is
I've
no
got
reason. To me, there is no reason because I will never send it back.
Yeah, I understand you won't, but you're in a situation where you've got a lot of spare parts available, and
No. It's got nothing to do with spare parts or anything.
You do.
It's-
You've got spare computers. You've got spare hard drives. You're more willing.
You don't understand.
Risk a little bit easier. than
You missed
I
the
do.
whole. You missed the whole point. The reason I will not send it back is because I don't want to put my data in somebody
No, I'm not
else's.
sending the. I'm not
hands.
concerned about sending the drive back. That's not
Yeah.
my problem.
All right. Well,
I'm
then
concerned about the performance and the performance of the drive. I really don't care.
that for what you're doing, the three.
So
Go ahead.
if I understand what Amnon is saying is still pay the same amount you would pay for the black, but buy two of these, rate them, you'll get better performance, you'll get better redundancy, right?
Yeah, I
For
mean,
the same price.
yeah, I'm not really interested in doing a raid, but nevertheless, are these good drives? That's what I'm trying to get down to. Are these
Yes.
drives good drives to put in a computer?
All the servers that I just took off of from Centurylink
Mhm.
are filled with those enterprise drives. That's
good.
all I bought for them. Because again, it wasn't a server does not require a lot of performance. They were all rated. And I think one time maybe something went bad. And you just go and you stick another drive in there, and that drive is sitting on the side with a big marker written on it, bad. And that's it.
Who is the? I mean, I've always bought WD hard drives, but as I've been looking, it looks like Seagate's making some
Strides.
some drives that are very comparably priced and seem to have good reviews. Who is the hard drive king right now? I need to.
You need to go
2 terabyte
to
drive.
Backblaze is the one that does the reports. And I
Yeah.
think they are reporting that Seagate, some of the Seagates are now better than Western Digital.
And I
But
think it's going to keep moving. It's a moving target.
Right,
because
it's a
you're
moving-
talking about
absolute-
each factory. I mean, they're the same company now, but they still probably have separate manufacturing. And it all depends on, who's got the cleanest environment, who's got the best raw materials. So I was reading an article from Backblaze and talking about they took the same size drive, Seagate. One was an enterprise, one was a consumer drive, and the failure rates for the first 3 years were actually lower in the consumer drive than in the enterprise drive.
Because like
But-
here's
but-
sorry, Spence. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think this could be a case of just a marketing ploy where you take the stuff that isn't quite up to snuff to meet the enterprise specs coming off the same line, offer a lower warranty for it, it's less time and cheaper. And it's like the old thing about flash drives when they first came out, flash memory, that the better stuff or the larger ones, the cheaper ones were the ones that half the memory failed, but they sold it as an 8 gig. It was a 16 gig drive that they sold as an 8 because half of it was bad. So who knows?
Nick, this is way before your time. But do you remember what a 486 processor is? Have you ever heard about a 486?
I know the story, but it's before my time.
DX and SX.
Just ones that didn't pass it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so here's an example of the Seagate drives. Here's a Seagate Barracuda drive, a 3 terabyte
Mm-hmm.
SATA, a 6 gigabyte SATA, 64 megabyte cache for $85.
Yeah.
Is this better than a WD Black? Is it equivalent to a WD Black?
It is, as far as I'm concerned, it's better.
Where's
Yeah.
Param? Where's
Barra-
Param when we need
Yeah,
it?
Barracuda is a very, very is highly regarded drive.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's just I've always been under the impression that the WD Blacks were the best hard drives on the market, and if you're buying a new hard drive that is going to be
They were
a main hard drive, you should get a WD Black. That's always what it was. I mean, I've had 4 or 5 of them now, and
That's-
is that still the case?
you're missing one word.
Yeah.
Consumer.
Correct.
For the consumer, they were the best drives.
Yeah,
Not
I mean, that's
not
what, yeah,
for
that's-
not for enterprise, not for putting them in servers 24/7.
And I would say for
So-
WD Blacks is probably just for more enthusiasts. I don't think I'd need to put a WD Black in my my mother's laptop for her to download pictures from her camera. I
Right.
mean, it seems like a green or a blue would do that. For the enthusiast, it was the WD Black, and I don't know if that's still the same because the prices of those WD Black drives have literally not changed.
Huh?
I'm looking at 2015. I bought a 1 terabyte one for $70, and it's almost the same price right now. The price of that drive has not fluctuated whatsoever.
What were the consumables that we used to buy where you could buy the identical thing and pay for the warranty, like you could buy a 1 year, 3 year, or 5 year warranty? What was that? Was that hard drives or was that memory?
No, it was hard drive.
Yeah. So it was the same piece. All you were doing was paying to extend to get a
Yeah.
replacement. So,
in this case-
for confidence.
And in this case here, I would say somebody just bought a whole pallet loads of these drives that never sold because somebody was overstocked and decided, okay, let's sell them, but we're going to have to sell them cheaper because of the warranty. So they have probably hundreds of thousands of these drives, and they can afford to say it's a seller warranty. So if something happens to the drive, you send it to the seller, they'll send you another one. They probably bought them for $10 a piece. They're selling them for $50-some. They can afford to give a few away. And if you're asking me today, I would go with those $54 drives. Okay?
So you'd get that over the newer Seagate.
I would get that over, absolutely. These were made to work and work and work and work. And I would rather get 2 of these if I'm worried about, I mean, you seem to be worried about something happening and you don't have
I'm not.
the
No,
part.
I'm
No,
not concerned
that
about-
you
no,
don't
no.
have that you don't have something to replace it with right away.
I'm not really concerned about that at all because I don't have a replacement for my current drive. I'm just
Well,
I'm
No,
wondering.
that's the enterprise drive is, in my opinion, the thing to go with.
Okay.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah. Well, I'll continue looking, and I'm not going to buy anything this week, but I'll continue to look and see what I can't find for next week and report back.
Sure. And really, I think these days the best one is the red, right, or the purple, Gal.
The red are their NAS drives.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why do you think they are more expensive? It's because they're made to run.
They're rated for more writes.
Right.
Continuous writes, as opposed to the consumer drives. So what was the numbers here I was reading? The consumer drives were rated at, the ones that they looked at were rated at 55 terabytes of write per year, where the enterprise drives were rated at 550 terabytes of writes per year. So it's got to do with
how much you use them, how much you abuse them.
It's kind of like the mean time to failure for a switch, a momentary switch. How many presses is that designed to take before it fails? It's the reliability and quality of the materials that you build it from.
Now, Nick,
bearings, magnetic armatures, whatever, all kinds of things like that.
Nicholas.
Yes.
Why not an SSD?
I have an SSD.
I know. Why not?
That was
SSD to boot the operating system.
A 2 terabyte SSD is just 2 terabyte SSD. I think is just a little overkill.
Okay.
They're almost $300.
Okay.
And I frankly don't need it. I mean, I've got a, what do I have? I think I have a 1 terabyte SSD. No, I have a 500 gig, 512 SSD.
So this is an additional drive that you stick in the machine.
A massively scalable SSD RAID array.
Okay.
Just build it. It costs you a couple of $1,000. That's okay.
Emphasis on need.
Yeah, this is, Amnon. I've got my boot drive, and then I've got my I've got the drive that I have all my videos, like all the infection podcast stuff I record and save stuff on, and then I've got the all the games and whatnot, and I'm constantly having to delete and reinstall games to make room for other.
Yeah, it would actually be nice if you can add a third drive. Leave the other one in place and just add this one as a third if you have the space.
This drive has been giving me some problems. I think it's been causing some hiccups in my computer. Sometimes it takes forever to access it, so I think it's time. I've had the drive since 2015, so I think I've gotten good use out of it.
Yep, good point. So you're not sending it back.
Do a copy of what?
Copy of ScanDisk.
Yeah.
But sometime when you can let it run for overnight.
Yeah.
Let it go ahead and do a maintenance scan on it and do all the it'll read, format, and rewrite everything. See what happens.
All right.
You reminded me. Have you ever heard about? I think it was called SpinRite.
Yeah, SpinRite.
Oh, of course.
That was. I still don't know if it's completely voodoo or science. It's
if it's voodoo, it works magically because it has bailed me out at least a few times.
Now, Gal, what do you mean if it's voodoo?
You know what SpinRite does?
It's very. I mean, we've been using it. I've been using it since the early days of RLL drives. I mean, you understand the principle, right?
I understand the principle. Still feels fishy. I don't know why.
No, it works great. I remember we used to use it like once a year, once every 2 years on the older drives, the big drives, big drives in size, not in.
Yeah.
And it will keep them going because back then there were a lot of errors on drives, and you could see the errors growing right around the same area. And you run it and you watch, and sure enough, it tells you, hey, I found this, I'm moving it. I found this, I'm moving it. And then it'll mark that area with left of it and right of it is bad, so it will not use any of it, and the drive is good for I don't know how long more.
Yeah, but the method of reading it, right?
Yeah.
The way it controls the head in
Yeah.
different velocities.
Yeah.
That was like, that's
There,
what felt like voodoo.
actually, there would
I understand that there's science around it.
it
I
would
understand
take
that there's a-
forever. What velocity? What? I mean,
Yeah.
it would take. Sometimes it will take a day to run.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, what felt voodoo about it was the way. I mean, the guy who wrote it, right? It's an assembly level
Yeah.
programming.
That's what's his name?
Gibson.
I don't remember his name.
Steve
Gibson.
Steve
Still
Gibson,
runs Windows
yeah.
95 because it's
Yeah.
the most secure operating system out there.
No, it works. I still use it every now and then on bad drives that are kind of iffy, and I make a backup and I run SpinRite on it. Still using SpinRite 6.0.
I see that as drives get bigger and more complex, it's of less value than it used to be.
What
Although
is?
it's good to SpinRite.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It will confirm.
Yeah.
And go through and run extensive diagnostics for you, and you can do some testing, and it will say, "Oh, sorry, that's you're not going to recover anything from this drive with software." But I still have 6 also, and it's supposedly he's got. I don't know if it's he's talking about a completely new version coming out to
Well,
address
the
all of
site
it.
only have 6.
What's that?
The site only have 6.
Yeah, but he's working on the next generation, he says.
He's writing it, making it a not DOS-based application, as it should have been 10 years ago.
Yeah, this has its own DOS.
Yeah,
its own operating system.
But it's a DOS-based operating system,
Yeah.
which is starting to become a problem.
Yeah, but like Amnon said, it's sufficiently restored a drive that I could back it up at least
Right.
before it completely failed, which was good. So a couple of times, I haven't updated mine recently. I know that I have a version of 6, and I probably could qualify for an updated version of 6, but I haven't done it.
Well, let's see if maybe it has version 6.5 in the specials. How about that?
Yes, version 6.625223-5.
You ready to do the specials?
I'm ready to do the specials.
All right, let's
don't run it on an SSD. Be careful.
That's it. Yeah, this is running on a series of 5.25-inch floppies. So keep swapping the floppies out as we go, Amnon. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Floppy 1. Here we go. Computers 2K Now specials for December 30th, 2018, the last time for this year. And we have a very nice holiday greeting up there for everybody from the crew at Computers 2K Now, wishing you a happy new year. That is a candid picture taken in Amnon's studio. Okay. Laptops. Why? What? Come on. Laptops. Best Buy has, and this was the cheapest thing they had. All the laptops, it's like everything they put out there besides the Chromebooks was starting at $500 and up. There wasn't anything in the entry level zone except for Chromebooks at Best Buy anyway. But they've got a 14-inch HP touchscreen Chromebook for $259, which is $40 off. Office Depot has an Acer 15.6-inch Core i5 for $549, which is $150 off. And Staples has a HP Core i5 laptop for $469, which is $160 off. Desktops, all-in-ones, we've got an HP Pavilion with an AMD Ryzen 5. And I like the way they have picked up on using Intel's own marketing scheme against them, where they've got the Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7. So you can easily in your head map the intended performance level against Intel. Makes it a lot easier. So this is a Ryzen 5, 12 gig of memory, 1 terabyte hard drive for $499, which is $80 off. Office Depot has a Lenovo Idea Center with a Ryzen 3. So consider this an entry-level machine for $349, save $100. And Staples has a Dell desktop Intel Core i7 for $609, which is $160 off. Tablets, we've got an entry-level Samsung Galaxy Tab E, 8 gig at Best Buy for $99. Office Depot has a Dell, and neither Office Depot or Staples had an actual tablet. They did have convertible touchscreen Windows machines that could be considered tablets, but you're limited to the Microsoft tablet version. Well, you could switch back and forth, but keep that in mind. But $299 for a 11.6-inch 2-in-1 laptop touchscreen tablet for $100 off at Office Depot, and a Lenovo Flex 14-inch i5 convertible laptop for $599, $200 off at Staples. Networking, we have a Linksys MaxStream AC 2200 wireless router for $139, which is $60 off. This next device, now again, notice the little logo indicator here is not the same. The outside circle is not the same as what's inside. This means it is not part of the weekly ad, but this was very relevant to me this past week where I rescued somebody's dead laptop and rebuilt it from scratch with a bad hard drive. Had a really hard time trying to set this machine up as Windows 7. It did not get shipped as Windows 7. It came as Windows 10. Didn't have any idea of that until we were partway through trying to get this to work as a 7 machine. But it would have been really helpful had I been able to find my USB network adapter so I could plug into the network instead of having to transfer stuff back and forth with a CD, because even the USB wasn't working. But pick up one of these USB network adapters. This one in particular for $31.49 is a gigabit adapter. So it's a USB 3, and very handy if you're trying to put a machine together and you're trying to download drivers and you don't have the original recovery disk, which may have the drivers on it. That's at Office Depot. Staples has a Netgear ProSafe 16-port gigabit switch for $79, which is $20 off. Storage. Best Buy has a 500 gig Samsung solid-state drive for $84.99, which is $25 off. Office Depot has SanDisk Ultra Plus Secure digital memory cards, both SD and micro SD, for $19.99, which is half price, $20 off. Staples has a Seagate 4 terabyte USB 3.0 desktop drive for $94.99, which is $15 off. Accessories. Best Buy has the Logitech C920 Pro webcam for $49, which is $12 off. Office Depot has the Logitech MK320 wireless desktop mouse combo for $24.99. That's $15 off. Staples has a 650 VA battery backup system from APC for $64.99, which is $10 off. Monitors. We have Best Buy has a 23-inch Acer monitor for $94.99, save $65. Office Depot has a 32-inch monitor for $169, which is $30 off from LG. And Staples has a 24-inch LED monitor with built-in speaker system for $129, save $20. Best Buy has an HP OfficeJet Pro 8710 all-in-one inkjet printer, business quality printer for $129.99, which is $70 off. Office Depot has one of my favorite brother laser printer, monochrome laser printers. It's $129 for the L2550 duplex wireless Has a document feeder. It is a fax machine also, if you ever need to use fax again. Wireless scanner, printer scanner, fax copier, $30 off. Epson Expression Premium XP 6000 color all-in-one printer, $69.99. That's $80 off the regular price at Staples. Home automation. Best Buy has the Arlo Pro 4 camera indoor-outdoor wireless security system for $449. That's $150 off. I hear from people who have Arlo, they really like it. Now, keep in mind that these are wireless cameras that use batteries. I believe you can connect them to a power source if you need to. But the point of these is that it's not continuous surveillance. It is motion capture. So that's why the batteries last as long as they do, well over a year. I don't know how much longer than that, but you do need to keep in mind when you install them that you'll have to access them. So you need to put them in a place where you can get to them to change the batteries. But well received, a nice system. People like it. And they do have lots of other accessories to go with it. Office Depot has the eViz 720 home Wi-Fi security camera for $58.23. Again, this is not a weekly ad item. Amazon.Echo 3rd generation for $29.99. That's $20 off at Staples. And here's a few things that were worthy of note, but they didn't have any more space for them there. They really discounted the Logitech Bluetooth keyboard. This is the one that's got the 3-way switch to switch between 3 different devices. Very handy if you want to have a tablet, a laptop, and a phone all controlled by the same keyboard. And that green band you see there is actually a place for you to put your phone or your tablet. It's a little bracket to hold this thing up. So $27.99, $22 off. That's a good deal. Staples that was a Staples. Also at Staples, they've got an HP Pavilion Core i7 laptop for $649, which is $180 off. And if you're looking for an entry-level battery backup system, something perhaps to put on your cable modem, your Wi-Fi router, and maybe a few other low power consuming devices, keep your network up and running. APC battery backup at Office Depot for $39.99, which is $8 off. SanDisk 1 terabyte solid state drive at Best Buy for $149, save $250. I don't know whether their markup is excessive, but $149 for a 1 terabyte drive is a good price. Garmin smartwatch, $199.99, $70 off at Best Buy. And we've got a 2 terabyte Western Digital external portable drive at Office Depot for $69.99. And finally, Amnon, this is what you need to get everybody as a holiday gift. The original Glow Bowl. This is a toilet bowl nightlight and freshener. Hey, whatever, it's cool, right?
Hey, you can laugh. I have these installed. These are fantastic.
I think it's I never saw this until today, but I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. So I don't have the original. I bought something on in Aldi. They were a lot cheaper than this, and I was thinking, yeah, that's cool because you don't need to switch on the light, especially when you come in at night. This is fantastic. You set the color to whatever you want, or you let it
change.
Let it change. This is like a whole new experience.
All right.
I highly recommend. Seriously, this is fantastic.
You need to go to their website too. I hear the URL is there for their website, but they have different bundles where you could buy 1, 2, 4, whatever you want to get.
Interesting.
But they do a nice job. They're tongue in cheek talking about pee in a whole new environment kind of a thing. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
You can have a party in the bathroom.
That's it.
Oh, they have a buy 3, get 2 free.
Yeah, the disco experience in the bathroom there.
Ooh.
This would be great. You need to put this in clubs. Right?
Yeah.
People would love it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They'd probably steal it too.
Yeah.
And that's it for specials for December 30th, 2018. And Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Amnon, which is you in that picture there? Are you are you the one in the middle, on the right, on the left? I can't tell.
Say it again.
The picture of the crew at Windows 2K Now in the studio.
Oh, you mean the
Two
first
people
one?
there. I can't tell which one is you.
Well, let me see. I didn't.
You're the one with the beard. You're the one with the big on the left side with the gray, right side with the gray beard. That's it. That's you. Alrighty then.
Oh, you're mean, Spence. You didn't
Why?
put my picture. You just put yours, Mike's, and
yeah. Yours was too shocking. Nobody was prepared for that.
Hey, Mike. Mike.
Yes, Amnon.
What microphone is that there? Do you know?
What microphone where?
Yeah, on the picture with the monkeys.
And the
That's
specials.
a KMS 105.
Okay. All right.
AKA the gorilla.
And they're talking into the side of it, and it's a unidirectional microphone, so they're morons.
Oh, jeez.
They're
That's
highly
evolution for you.
trained broadcast monkeys. Come on.
I'm personally offended.
Actually, it could be an AKG D7 as well. A lot of them have that same grill design.
919-518-9773. Computers 2K voice on Skype.
Don't get in arguments with people online. I have been arguing with this guy on Reddit for 2 days now, and it is nothing but just I'm trying to point out this guy's all this guy does is insult me, and and then try to change the argument, and then I just keep coming back with his insults and just ask him why he's insulting me, and he just keeps insulting me.
You know
more
what?
and more
You
and
know
more.
what we used to call that?
This is going to be my whole show. My whole radio show is going to be about this jackass on
you know what?
on Reddit.
You know what you call that process?
What?
Flaming.
Well,
We used to call it flaming. It's when you are actually like you fan the flame.
yeah,
You add, and then they come back, and then you go and
just a useful tip if you're trying to. And when I say, you can convince people and you can have a conversation with people, but I'll give you a useful tip in all of my long experience of being a political commentator, award winning. If you're trying to make a point, don't switch the argument around every statement. It makes you look like a total moron.
No, Nick, you're missing the point. That's called deflection, and that's the #1 skill taught in the Democrat debate process.
Well, I'm not talking. This isn't even a political debate.
Mine wasn't political. It's fact. They're masters at it. It works very well. That's why people do it.
Yeah. So if you're trying to convince somebody of something, making things I lied. It's a totally political argument, but making stuff up and changing the topic every post is probably not the most effective way to do it. Stay off of Reddit. There's nothing good on there.
They got you though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was just having a conversation about TV ratings, and then I got called a dumb effer for no reason. I just posted a link. I just got posted a link to the rating books. I mean, I didn't write them, and then I got called an idiot, and I got called. Now I'm being called a dense idiot. I mean, it's really devolved. So stay offline, kids. It's bad for you.
So right.
Well, what did everybody get for Christmas? We haven't talked about that, right? We haven't had a show since Christmas.
No, we didn't.
What did everybody get?
A toilet nightlight.
Huh?
A toilet nightlight. That's what I got.
Is it motion detected or dark detected, or both?
No, you have
P
voice activated.
Oh, P detection. I like that guy.
What did I get? I like to every now and then bake a loaf of bread because we have a bread maker. And then when you slice it, it's all over the place. So Kathy got me something that you put the bread into, and it's got guides in there, and you slice it all even. I need to try it and see how it works.
She didn't get you one of those machines with the claws that vibrates and cuts the bread at the bakery. You ever seen those before?
No.
Oh, that's
And-
what they
yeah, I've
use at
seen
the
those.
bakeries. It's just metal prongs.
Yeah, I used to, when I was very young, I worked in a bakery and they had those for slicing.
Yeah, they're
Slicing
cool.
bread.
Slicing hands.
Amnon, does yours have a built-in vacuum port?
No, it does not.
Oh,
Yeah,
that would be handy.
he uses it out in the workshop.
I have no idea where she found it. I mean, it had to be something that they sold on TV.
Not necessarily. I bet you could find it at Bed Bath and Beyond at a place like that.
Yeah, well, that's
Kitchen
probably
store
where she went. Yeah.
would have it. So
And
I bought myself my own Christmas present, which is usually how it works. I mean, I got other things, but I bought myself a sound bar.
Nice.
Vizio sound bar, which is still figuring out how to get it to. It does work with the TV remote, but so far it's been a little quirky as to how it, what it does. But
Very nice.
Vastly improves the sound.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting tired of the speaker that we have on the Samsung TV. It's a wireless speaker. The TV,
get echo?
Huh?
You get any echo? You have to turn the regular sound down on the TV. So
No. It switches to it. It's called multi-room, something like that. And the TV does not have an audio output, which I don't understand. I mean, what if I wanted to put headset on? It doesn't have it. So Kathy got this one because she saw it again at Bed Bath and Beyond. It looks like the Amazon Echo. It's round, it's tall, and all that, but it likes to just disconnect at the most inopportune moment. I mean, you would listen and suddenly, poof, it's gone.
Well, if there's no audio output, how are you connecting to the television?
Wi-Fi.
It's Wi-Fi.
Oh, it's really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so you can apparently you can take that speaker and put it in the other side of the room and hear your TV same way. But I mean, why would anybody want to do that? I don't know.
But the TV has Wi-Fi audio connection?
Yeah, it has. It will work with Wi-Fi.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've never.
Wait a second. Yeah, it does, but it's wired. I've got it wired because it's faster. But then that speaker.
So wired where? You said it doesn't have an output.
He's got an Ethernet connection.
Ethernet wire.
The point is the TV hosting the Wi-Fi connection, or is it through your
No,
home
it's
Wi-Fi?
it's the Wi-Fi router that's hosting it. You have to first.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that feature before. What TV? What kind of a TV is it?
It's a Samsung, and the speaker is for Samsung only.
Okay.
And when you set it up, you're supposed to. It takes you through it, and you say, "Okay, install it through the app," and then what's the password? I'm trying to connect to this particular access point, and what is the password? And then you go to the TV, and you said, "Okay, now use the multi-room," and bam, and it sounds great. I mean, but every time you sit there and you watch the news, and right in the middle, bam, it's gone. And sometimes it'll work just for days and no problem.
You sure it isn't like every time your refrigerator compressor starts going, it sends out an electromagnetic pulse and shuts it off?
So some bars are nice because I wish there was an output to connect the sound bar. I would rather do that because I mean, until Kathy got that speakers, I didn't realize how bad the speakers in the TV are.
Yeah, I changed to a Vizio TV the last time, and I was very disappointed in the speakers.
Yeah,
I mean, they're okay, but the ones I had in the Philips TV before that were much better. So now I would usually listen with a headset anyway because of my hearing issues, but now I can use the sound bar and I can actually hear and understand the audio.
Nice. Yeah.
Before, to do it with the TV speakers, I had to turn it way up. So
Amnon, does your TV have Bluetooth?
Yeah, but the wait a second. No, the TV doesn't. The speaker does.
No.
Yeah.
does your TV have optical output?
I
Optical
don't
sound?
think so.
Digital sound?
I went through that. I remember in the beginning. No, it does not.
That's pretty typical, though. I'm
I
surprised.
know. I know.
Not
Yeah,
even
no,
an RCA output?
I've looked at the Amnon's TV. It's the weird hybrid TV of in between. It's what, probably what, 6, 7, or 8 years old?
More like 5, 6 years.
5,
Yeah.
6. It's in like your TV's in like that weird hybrid of TVs where they're like, we don't know what to do with the ports.
Probably.
and-
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's. I have a TV that's that same age range, and it's like it's a mishmash of like it's got new things like Bluetooth, but then it still has 3 composite inputs into the TV, which makes
It
no
does.
sense
This
whatsoever,
one does have composite.
which is very weird.
Yeah.
So what? You got a new SoundLink bar?
Spence.
Oh,
Oh,
it's,
I'm sorry. You're talking about Spence's, guy.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying you got another one.
No, I want to get one, but I would have nowhere to plug it into.
You could use the SoundLink. Does the SoundLink have a headphone out?
What's a sound link?
Your speakers, the SoundLink.
Oh, that's
what Samsung calls it, I think,
multi-room.
yeah. Multi-room, yeah.
No, it doesn't have anything.
The speaker itself doesn't.
Amnon, you got to do what we used to do. You got to take the cover off the speakers.
I
and
was going
solder
to.
connections
Yeah.
to the left and the right.
But I've got a better idea. Amnon, do you have a spare closet in the house?
No, but I can build one.
Okay, so this is what I would do. I'd put your multi-room in there, hook up a microphone to it, feed that into a mixer, and then feed that to a bunch of
That's a
speakers.
plan.
That's what I would do.
That's a plan.
Next time you're here, you help me do that.
That's how I'd go about it. And then you can control the level with like a little Behringer 302. You'll be good to go.
Amnon, I have a solution for you. There is an application called Tunity.
Oh,
That
Tunity's
runs-
awesome.
Yeah, you can, if it's broadcast television live, you can take a picture with your phone of the broadcast. It identifies the audio stream and sends it through your phone.
How does that work? I've always wondered that.
They have servers in the background. I was turned on to it by my audiologist when I had my hearing aids, got my hearing aids. He said, "Oh, you'll love this because you can go." It was designed for people who go into sports bars where everything is muted and want
Yeah.
to be able to listen to the game.
He's at the
And-
gym.
Yeah, it's a cool idea. And they
Tunity.
support hundreds of channels now.
So Gal, what about
Hey,
you?
so basically this is like a cord cutting just for the audio of the TV.
Correct.
This is brilliant.
Oh, well.
And it's
Never
cool
heard about this.
because you take a video of the TV and it scans it in, and then you've got a sync, 2 sync buttons. You can move it like 500 milliseconds forward or 500 milliseconds back, and you can sync up the audio. It's pretty useful, especially at the gym. Or I've never used it at a bar, but I've used it. I use it at the gym all the time. It works well, but only live TV. Like I don't know if I don't think it. Spence, does it work with like reruns of
No.
old shows?
no.
No.
Well, it could if it's whatever's the live channel is broadcasting.
Yeah.
That's-
I mean, I've used it
can
with-
be the content is irrelevant. It's the fact that it knows what channel you're tuned to.
Yeah.
It can identify it, and then it goes and finds that audio stream and sends it out.
I've used it with like ESPN and NFL Network and all that stuff and Fox, and it works fine.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a cool app.
Tunity.
Tunity, yeah. All right, Gal, you're next. Did you get any good gifts over the past couple weeks?
I mean, we don't really do Christmas, but
I know.
What'd you get
I
for
mean,
Hanukkah?
I don't know, a couple weeks. I was being inclusive.
No, but yesterday I got a package that I forgot that I ordered. A brand new Harmony. I think it's called Unity.
The
what-
Logitech remote.
Yeah, I already have a Harmony hub and a remote, but the thing with Harmony is once you have a remote and you can program all of the devices, like 15 different devices and etc. and stuff into it, and it connects to smart home and all of that. But if I want to use it for 2 different TVs, for example, then the moment I switch on one TV, it'll switch off the other one. That's how it's built. If it's controlling all of these devices together, because it has something called activities. So I needed a separate one for the bedroom because I wanted to be able to control the home and everything from a remote in the bedroom and in the living room. And finally, during the sales, they had a good price, so I bought one of those.
Now you know,
We'll
but the
set it up later.
problem that they had with the Harmony.
What problem?
I've got this story here. It says after issuing a firmware update that reportedly cut off local access for Harmony hubs, Logitech says it will offer another update to undo the move and restore local network control. They say while Logitech originally defended its move to make the Harmony hub unresponsive to third-party home automation software, arguing that the private APIs were never meant to be used for anything except setting up the Harmony hub for the first time, and that keeping them around meant maintaining a security hole, Logitech has now relented, saying it's working to provide a solution for those who still want access despite the inherent security risks involved. That solution is basically an about face, blah, 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 and they said it made the first place by restoring access to XMPP local control with a new update. So that per third-party home automation software like Home Assistant can see and operate the hub over your local network. Logitech's calling it an XMPP beta program for now and says it'll make the update available to all Harmony customers in January as well. So did you have any did you update any?
I don't use any local network third-party home automation. I mean, I do use, it is connected to third-party home automation through the official API, through the web, but I haven't used anything local yet. So,
well, if I just wanted to, when you mentioned that.
I mean, for me, buying a Harmony is a concession. I liked Harmony, but I bought into a Kickstarter project that actually did ship, and I do have the remote, but I can't use it because. So there's this. They're called 7 Hugs, and they have a very cool product. It's a remote where it comes with triangulation sensors that you put inside the room, and then whatever you point to, the remote switches to that device and you control that device. So if I want to switch on the light, all I need to do is point the remote at the light, and I'm controlling the light. If I'm pointing at the TV, then it's controlling the TV. Now the thing is that when they kickstarted it, Amazon and Netflix and stuff like that, they were just either they were not existent when they started designing it, or they weren't as common. And so they do have some Wi-Fi control through their base, but they've never implemented Bluetooth. So there's no Bluetooth component in the system. And an Amazon remote, for example, that's a Bluetooth component. And so one of the most widespread, one of the very fast spreading technologies isn't in that system, and it renders everything for me mute, because my systems, they're based on the Amazon Fire TV. I have a Fire TV in the bedroom. I have a Fire TV box in the living room, and so I can't control using that remote anymore. And so it's right now in the drawer, waiting for them to release what they say is going to be an Amazon TV control. They're probably going to do it over network, over Wi-Fi, but that hasn't come out yet. So I'm still with Harmony. I wanna kick Harmony out because it's nice, it's good, but it's still a bit clunky when it comes to the layman working with it. And with the 7 Hugs remote is a point and click situation, which makes it a lot easier for anyone who doesn't understand the technology behind it, who doesn't know that you don't need to know how to work it. And that's what I liked about it.
Yeah, that's what I've never liked about the Harmonies. My grandparents have always had, or they've had Harmonies, like a Harmony or 2 Harmonies, and my God, I don't even know I don't know how they operate. It's so confusing to try to figure out what is what and how to turn something on and turn it off without turning everything off. They're
Yeah,
incredibly
exactly.
complicated.
Exactly. They're very complicated. They're amazing in what you can do with them, but the setup is complex and it's
Yeah.
hard. I mean, today at least you don't have to have a PC to do it, and you can do it from the mobile device with the new with the models from the last 3 years, right? But it's like it's a way of thinking of a previous generation. And this new 7 Hugs, I'll send the link. It's a really cool, and I really want to love it. But I can't use it. So that's annoying.
Hmm.
So I'm stuck with Harmony, and I bought another Harmony. So I'll play with that a bit.
There you go.
Yeah, but two wrongs don't make a right.
No. So I'm still waiting on the Fire TV support, and once I have that Fire TV support, then it's going to be, I think it's going to be an awesome switch. It's also a very small footprint one. It's, if you'll see if you go to the site, there's a video playing. It's a very, very small remote, but it does everything and rather conveniently. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Phillips, you're up next. Oh, where's Mike? Unless he steps up to the microphone. Here's
I
Mike
didn't get anything
Phillips.
for Christmas.
You didn't get anything?
I did. That's a lie. I got a woodworking clamp.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got such a good birthday present this year that you didn't get anything for Christmas.
It was an anniversary present.
Anniversary present. Yeah, your grizzly saw, right?
Saw stop.
Yeah.
Not grizzly.
Oh, it wasn't grizzly? I thought
Grizzly's
it was
junk compared to saw stop.
okay. Well, that's even better.
Yeah, no, I'm all set. I got a lot of woodworking things. I've told my family. I said, if you ever have any questions, just give me clamps. And I'm so hard to buy for. They did give me a bunch of clamps, which they think I'm just being gratuitous when I tell them that, but they don't realize I'm very dead serious when I tell them you can never have enough clamps. Well, what size do we get? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And I got some good ones. Got some really good ones, and I got some other things too. Got I really like fountain pens, and I got a really nice fountain pen that I like a lot, and a few other things. I don't remember what at the moment.
I found a clamp that I want to buy it, but the company that makes it, I'm not sure what their status is, but it is not just, it's a spreading clamp. So if you're working on repairing furniture, for example, and you need to pull something apart to, like the spindles on a chair or something like that, to reglue them, this is a safe way. It's a fascinating tool. It works the same way, like where you squeeze the trigger and it will, but it expands instead of contracts.
A lot of them will do that. You just turn the clamp around. The steel bar doesn't care. It's just the position of the clamp. Whenever you squeeze the trigger.
Well, this has attachments on it that let you grab at different angles in weird ways, like to pull a spindle apart.
I'd say probably 5 or 10 of the ones that I have, you can turn the clamp around on one end, actually on both ends.
Drive the pin out, drive that little stopping pin on it out.
Depending on how it's set up, you may not even have to take the pin out. If it's designed to be reversed, you just have to feed it past the pin. But you just take them out, turn them around, boom, you're spreading instead of squeezing.
Yeah, I need to do that because I'm refurbishing 4 chairs that are loose. and I want to pull them apart.
Hey, if it's that hard to take it apart, then leave it alone. It's fine.
No, I've got a table, an old antique table that I need to repair. Unfortunately, I can't figure out how to do it. I believe it was put together with hide glue. I tried heating the joints. I actually scorched the wood a little bit doing that. That wasn't a good idea. It didn't matter. It's an antique, but it's not a valuable antique. But I need to figure out how to do that because we're using it as a TV stand. One of the things that my wife got for Christmas was a larger TV for her room where she likes to sit and watch TV. She sits it on that table. The table wobbles a little bit too much for my comfort. Maybe I'll get a hammer and nail, and fix it.
Maybe some cross bracing. You can put something in there that's
No,
not
it's an
not
ornate
conspicuous.
table. I don't see any way to fix it except to squeeze things together. One thing my son and daughter-in-law got me was one of the Bessie band clamps. It has this web banding that you put around four corners of a picture if you want to miter something and put it together. They're really hard to squeeze without pulling them apart, and these band clamps work really well. And it actually could be useful on that thing to sort of squeeze the legs into the center column that the legs are attached to.
Well, excellent. Hey, Gal, I got some streaming TV questions for you.
Yeah.
So, we've talked about this a whole bunch of times, but so over Christmas Eve, I was chatting with my uncle, and he informed me that they have cut the cord. They canceled phone and TV service through Spectrum, and he said that they're using a service called Philo. I'm sure you've heard of them before.
Yeah.
PHILO. Their base plan is $16 a month. Their channel lineup is, in my opinion, kind of garbage. Like they have like 4 Hallmark channels, 3 Cheddar channels. They say there's 43 channels, and that there is, but it's a lot of sub channels, and it sounds like it's better than it is. So as again, I started looking at these services, and I didn't realize Hulu offered a live TV service. Um, have you looked into this at all?
Yeah, that's something new. They're trying to compete with, YouTube TV.
It's outrageous. It's $40 a month. I can get
Wow.
cheaper cable through Spectrum than $40 a month. I just
I
looked.
agree.
What the hell are they thinking?
Well, so when I'm looking at cord cutting today, is you cannot rely on a third-party TV supplier. You gotta figure out a way of getting most of the stuff off the air, and then some very low-paying subscription plans, or something like Amazon Prime that you're already bundled in. That will be better. It's ridiculous. I agree. The way I see it right now, all of the live TV suppliers, they're either the same or higher priced than cable.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at Spectrum's, I don't know what they call it, their TV Select plan or whatever that is, and that's like 150 channels or whatever, and it's like $45-50. It's $44 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's now you probably have to pay for the box. So call it $50 a month, but you're getting 125 channels versus Hulu's 55, and it's $10 more a month. I mean, that's I don't. I mean, maybe the cloud, maybe it's the device streaming and the cloud streaming that's so useful, but Spectrum also offers that. I mean, you can watch TV on, it's a watch.spectrum.com. You can watch a whole bunch of channels even if you're off of your own Wi-Fi. I was dumbfounded with the price of Hulu's service though.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I've cut out of Netflix as well.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the content isn't worth it. It's great. I get to watch some of the stuff other ways, right? But I don't want to pay on a regular basis for entertainment that much. So for me, cutting the cord right now is cutting myself from the streams that are coming in. It doesn't matter whether they're IP based or wire based, right? It doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, those two services to check out if you're interested. Philo, Philo, and Hulu Live TV is what they call it. And I think the Hulu Live TV also gives you access to like a what's it, Hulu Plus or whatever their on-demand service is called. So I guess that's how they're factoring out their price, but it still is expensive.
But you're reading
the
what?
on-demand, the on-demand that you pay for and still get commercials with, which I also find ridiculous.
I was hoping that they'd offer a plan, and I'm trying to dig around to see if there is a way to buy just the live without the subscription, because a lot of these streaming services have got the plans they offer on their website, and then there's like different plans that they don't. That's not that they don't advertise, but like different little select plans that you can get. But it appears that
why would you want to pay for the local ones that you can pick up with an antenna?
Well, it's not I mean, they always add in the local ones because it's free to do that, and there's no cost to them.
Yeah, but you just said I'm trying to see if I can get just the local.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just the live TV function of Hulu, not the on-demand.
Oh, okay.
Because they're calling their service live TV, but you have to get their on-demand service, which I frankly do not want. But it doesn't appear that you can buy it without that. You have to have both, which is stupid.
Jason in the chat says that he thinks that YouTube TV is the
it is. I think it is the best price, but it's not available. I can't get YouTube TV. They're not in Wilmington. They're in Raleigh. Maybe I need to sign up with one of your addresses and get the service. I mean, I think they've got the best plan. It's $25 a month, I think. And there's a whole bunch of channels, but it's not. They're doing slow rollouts for whatever reason.
Check PlayStation View.
I have looked at View, and I've looked at DirecTV Now too, and DirecTV Now seems to be pretty competitive as well.
I haven't checked them.
Yeah, DirecTV Now looks like the DirecTV Now is interesting. There's a whole bunch of them. The problem is that it fluctuates. It's different all the time.
Yep. The problem for me is you have zero control on what they provide.
Right. But it's always been like that.
And I would have thought, right, that by this time, with the way people are fed up with the bundling of everything, right, and the talk of cord cutting and the way piracy in this scene works, right, is that the big companies that step in, they would learn from past mistakes, but it seems that they do not. Hey, I mean, they're making money, right? So who am I to criticize?
I guess Hulu's not that expensive. PlayStation View is $45 and YouTube TV is $40, and so is DirecTV Now. Maybe I was wrong. I don't know. $40.
Sounds like you're looking for like premium content. I think the value is lower.
These are all base. These are all the base package on PlayStation View is $44. The base package on DirecTV Now is $40 a month.
I remember it's a lot cheaper.
So did I. And now that I'm re-looking, the Live a Little DirecTV Now, $40. I mean, I can literally get cable for $50 a month. None of these are appealing to me.
Well, I mean, I can see. I mean, these were not the prices to begin with, right?
No, they were not, for sure. I don't remember.
I would think that what's going on is those companies have just so much bandwidth, so much server space, because you need all that for that service. It's not like they're just pointing you somewhere. And maybe they got to the point where they say, we're going to have to raise our prices. We're going to lose customers, but there are a lot of other customers who are going to stay with us. Let's do that so we don't need to have more resources. We just make more money on the limited resources that we have. That may be the way that they look at it. I don't know. It seems like, because otherwise, why would they do it? I mean, you end up replacing one service with another. You're not cutting the cord anymore. You're cutting your internet provider's service. You go into somebody else to get it, and you're paying the same or more. Why would you do that? Might as well stay with Spectrum.
Alan's asking how much is the basic cable. I don't know. I'm trying to buy it. I'm trying to go to I signed into my Spectrum account to buy it, and I clicked add service, and this is what the page looks like when I try to add service. So I guess they don't want my business either. But I looked online. I think it's $45 a month without equipment, and the cable box is probably another $5. So $50 a month if I had to guess, which frankly is less expensive than the second DirecTV plan, which only has 85 channels. God, these prices are way higher than they used to be, right? I'm not crazy, am I?
Yeah.
No, you're not crazy. They're way higher. I'm looking at this though. This looks like an interesting report comparing all of the.
I'm curious if anybody's using a streaming service. We're past time today, but give us a call. Give us a call next week. I want to talk. We haven't talked about this stuff in a while. I need to relook at this stuff.
Yeah, really expensive.
Very, very expensive.
Looks like if you really want, let's say CBS, right? Probably buying. Yeah, but that's probably, it's not for live, right?
CBS what? All access?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just CBS though.
Yeah, but that's $6 a month.
Yeah.
So that's not too bad, right? And if you want,
but you can get most of that content
ESPN
over the air. That's the thing with the CBS is, I mean.
So I think your best bet here is actually buying a tuner and hooking up to a Plex server or something, and then you can get live TV.
I mean, I've got live TV right now. I'm with over the air. I was just looking to get a little bit more, but it doesn't appear that these companies are trying to be competitive with cable anymore.
Obviously, they're not.
What's the more that you're looking for?
I don't know. It's every once in a while you just want to watch. I mean, there's only so many YouTube channels I'm subscribed to, and every once in a while it's like, God, I don't want to watch another 8-minute YouTube video. You want to watch something a little more long format, and it's something that's nice to have, but it's not $40 a month nice to have. I can guarantee you that.
Subscribe to Fox Nation.
But again, it's only one channel.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Sling and their blue package might be the best out there at $25 a month.
Sling is the only one who's actually holding the price for a long time the same.
Yeah.
I mean, even YouTube, which is $40 right now, YouTube TV, they started at like 29 or something.
Yeah, well, I think it was 29. Yeah, you're right.
And so the introductory prices, they're not keeping. By the way, the same critique about Google is on their Google Fiber subscriptions. When you buy them with TV, the TV portion fluctuates. I mean, I didn't buy it, but I remember neighbors, right, who bought in for the Google Fiber with the TV package. So it started low, and then it rise. Then Google just issued emails saying, we apologize for the rise, but content creators are charging us more, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I understand all of that, but it really pushes everything really, really high.
Yeah. Well, my best friend Brian Aldridge is in the chat. He's saying that I know he doesn't have cable, and he's saying the DirecTV Now is the best place to get all of the different channels, and their 125 channel package is $75 a month.
And does that include the local channels as well?
It does, and it also includes some movies stuff, and it includes Stars and some of that other stuff. Their Go Big is 105 channels, and that's 65. That looks like, but again,
that's still that's like cable. Yeah,
but it's cheaper than cable. I think I can get cable for 50. So
well, it's because it's DirecTV, because they are a cable company, right? So they can probably afford that.
And the Spectrum price is a 12-month contract, but then you cancel it at the end if you want it and move to something else. I mean, it's still even though it's a 12-month term, it's still, you just cancel it when you're done if you don't want it.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's talk about this the next show.
I agree.
Or whatever.
Only the next show, though. After next show, we will.
Yeah, after the next show, we can't talk. I mean, this is a one-time. Yeah. There are just two more things I want to mention, and then we need to add. I mean, we talked about last week about Microsoft issuing an emergency patch for Internet Explorer. Well, the problem, it created a problem, and it affects versions of Internet Explorer from 9 to 11 across multiple versions of Windows. But it seems that the patch has been causing problems for many people, specifically people with some Lenovo laptops. Have found that after installing the KB446761 patch, they are unable to start Windows. So that just another reason not to use Internet Explorer. And iPhone users, according to several reports, iPhone users around the world have upgraded to the latest version of iOS, are finding that it cuts off mobile data services. One Twitter user says that Apple update 12.1.1, I had no cellular data. He tried inserting the SIM card again, hard resetting the phone, and tried resetting the network. Nothing happened, and the problem persists. Apparently, some other users on Twitter claiming that they have been having connectivity issues related to 12.1.2. Apple is advising some to try to update their carrier settings using a guide from the carrier. So if you have an iPhone and you are having problems, see if you are on 12.1.1 or 1.2, and that's why you would have problems with data, with cellular. I mean, here's a phone. I don't have cellular data. Jeez. Anyway, that's it for today. Happy New Year, everybody. Anybody wanted to add anything quick? Nope.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. All right. So thanks, guys. Mike, Spence, Nick, Gal. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing, back up your hard drive, and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Nick, you doing a show tonight?
Yes. There will
Okay. So tonight at 7, Nick Craig hosts Against the Norm. And at 9, Mike Phillips is hosting the Crypto Culture Show, both on Wilmington Big Talker 106.7 FM. And you can listen on YouTube, on TuneIn, right on the left there, and the links on our webpage. There's a link to TuneIn. Have a happy and a safe New Year. Talk to you next week.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.